Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on the time in your area when you watch this video. Tom here, everybody. You read that title correctly. How to spot a fake psychic. The reason why I'm talking about this now is because I've been making comments like so on another video about psychics. And to be exact, psychic Sylvia Browne. But I'm not going to go into detail about her. Somebody asked me how you could be able to spot if a psychic was fake or not. That's a very good question, and I want to answer it by talking about an experience I had last year on my old Facebook account. There was this one psychic I spoke to, and she told me in her reading that I would die and go to hell. Why? Because, as she told me, God doesn't allow retards into heaven. That shocked me a little. But what happened the next day shocked me even more. Because the next day, she went on to steal some of my artwork, tried to pass it off as her own, and was telling people that she created it and I stole it from her. That was a lie. She was a fake psychic. Eventually, I had shut down my Facebook account. There was several other attacks and reasons why I did shut down my old Facebook account. And then, much to my surprise, after I was off Facebook, I noticed that she joined my haters. Why is it that these people always do that? You know, after you leave YouTube or after you leave Facebook, they join your haters. I mean, what's up with that? What? Do they think as soon as I'm off YouTube or Facebook that I don't have access to a computer, that I can't see it? I mean, I don't get that. Anyway, sorry for that little distraction. Just had to get that out there. What I'm getting at is, 1, there are fake psychics out there. There's also very true psychics out there who do have this gift. I do believe if you are a psychic, you have to be born this way, and it's a gift from God, and it should be used for good. Not everyone feels or thinks the same way, but that's alright. We all have different opinions. These are just mine. Now, I almost gave up on looking for a psychic after that until I came across a wonderful internet radio show on Blog Talk Radio called The Jill Show, aka Journey into Light. There they have the top psychics in the field. I met psychic Lizzie Starr, who I've been friends with since day one. We just clicked immediately, and like I said, she said someday I would be making movies, and at some point I would be making so many movies I wouldn't have time to call home, which would be a wonderful problem to have. But what I'm getting at is, I think people get a little excited about when they hear their future and don't realize there's a lot of hard work in it. There's a lot of hard work in making movies. It's not just going to happen because I snap my fingers. And all I'm saying is, I think that's why when it doesn't happen immediately, sometimes people give up. And then they blame the psychic, which is sad because really it's their own downfall. Well, those are my feelings. I'm not going to give up towards making movies. It's just a long-term goal, dream of mine, one I've had ever since I could remember. And I'm just saying this because I think this is good advice. And another thing is, use your instincts. You know when somebody is telling you the truth or feeding you a line. Now, you're probably wondering, why do I know so much about this? What makes me the boss of spirituality? Well, I'm not the boss of spirituality or anything. The reason is, I had questions about my own life after my mom passed away, and these were questions that she could have answered if she was here. Number one. Number two is because when I was about 5 to 6, not many people know this, but my mom was highly spiritual, and she was psychic. Not a practicing one or a professional one, but if I wanted to know more about it, she would teach me about it. Only thing is, you gotta realize, when I was 5 to 6, this was like my entire world. I just thought this was normal. I thought this was how everybody was raised. Then years later, when I came out about it on YouTube, guess what? People just laughed at me. And since that experience, I've kind of taken a backseat to talking about my own experiences growing up and going to places where I feel comfortable, like the Jill Show, where I know I won't be laughed at, I won't be judged, and I'll get answers, because, you know, that's all we want. And if a psychic is a real psychic to me, they're kind of like a scientist. What I mean by that is, I know scientists and psychics are incredibly two different people, don't get me wrong. But they're both looking for answers out there. They're both looking for answers, but in different ways. Like me, I believe in God. There's a lot of people who believe in God. There's a lot of people who believe in psychics. I believe in psychics, and I believe there is psychic abilities. I believe if you are truly psychic, you are born with it. It is a gift from God and should be used for good. However, there are fake psychics out there. You have to watch out for them. And there are also people who don't believe in God. I do, but I don't really believe a lot in what the Bible says. I look for answers outside the Bible. And I believe this spiritual journey of mine is partly due to that. Because when I was a kid at school, they used the Bible as a form of punishment, or either they forced it upon me. That just drove me away from it. And I've always been interested in psychics ever since I was very young. And I want to add that I know every psychic out there is not for every person. And I'm just saying that because that's good advice. It's like, you know, you're not going to like everybody you meet. For whatever the reason, somebody will just rub you the wrong way. And that's the best way I can explain that. I don't know how else to explain it. But I think I've gone on enough about this. It's time to hear from you. Thanks for listening and watching. Please make comments down below. Over and out from your good buddy Tom, everybody.